think a lot of people break up. It's really not that big of a deal. Relax. If you break up, it's not the end of the world. It's
not people break up. But, yeah, we broke up. We broke up. So, I was fed up of you. So I broke up.
My gosh. Like, the senior football team was always, like, all over the windows. And I was like, I'm not in the mood to stare at you. And then he was, like, a little weirdo. And anytime we were in the same place, he'd, like, run out the room and, like, ugh, like, I don't want to see Shannon there. So I'm like, get me out of this town, right? So he was, like, offended I didn't tell him. And I'm like, dude, we don't talk, bro.
I was offended?
Yes, bro. You called me crying.
So she's going.
My quick answer would be I would not remarry either. Mainly because I'm not trying to have no drama in heaven.
But you know, Sexy Red though. You know her music.
Okay.
Shit, come on, dude. Come on, get it sexy, get it.
Like I said, listen, I am not a music guru.
We just need to know if you know the chorus.
Like, absolutely, I do.
All right, well, that's all we need to know. Cause look, I don't know it word for word. I know the chorus though.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, like it was good. It was a good time. Like, the flag football thing was a good time. Like, you know.
I was so tired. That was the longest day of the whole entire thing for me. We had gone 12 hours, 14 hours on our feet. But the thing for me was the heels. I was in my heels for 14 hours.
You were in your heels 14 hours. With your feet like this.
Did
your
I
feet,
count?
the corners of your feet was like this. Not corners, you don't got corners. I'm talking about the tips of your feet was like this.
From 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. What is the math of that?
7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
That's like 16
That's 12.
hours.
7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
7 a.m. to 11 p.m. is like 16 hours. 8, 9, 10.
It is 16.
Yeah.
Nice job.
So I walked in my heels for 16 hours straight. We did not get a break that day.
You did. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You did a really good job.
Thanks.
You did a really good job. So how'd you enjoy Super Bowl all in all?
It was amazing. It was really fun.
Yeah.
A lot went down.
Okay.
A lot went down.
A lot meaning?
I hosted my first ever party with Ulta and Zaps.
I had a good time, by the way.
That was the
I had
most
a really good time.
fun I've ever had in my life.
It was probably one of my favorite events. Well, it was my favorite event.
It should have been your favorite event for sure.
I don't have to be forced into liking your event, like saying like, oh, it's the best. Like, I actually think it was the best event. I think it was the best event.
Thanks.
I'm not going to say that because you're my wife. I'm just saying that because it was my favorite event.
Yeah, I agree. I had a lot of fun at Fanatics.
Fanatics was fun. That was the first year we went.
This was our first year.
We've tried to get in I don't think we've tried to get in every year.
We just never went to Fanatics before. This year, we did.
We did.
It was a vibe. And
it was a good time.
Well, that was a long day, but we relaxed at Fanatics, had a burger, and then went to flag football.
We had a burger. We did. We had Bub's Burgers.
He's not correct. I was talking about when we were at Fanatics.
Oh.
We had a burger that night too.
Oh, they did have a burger. That was a good slider. It was a slider, not a burger.
It was a burger-sized slider, though. The
slider. You should definitely get your terminology right.
But anyway, it was a vibe. The whole week was a vibe.
It was a good vibe. So, anyway, you guys are with Love and Locker Room with Jew and Shan. And we're here to have a good time. Go follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe to all social media things, wherever those may be. Spotify, Apple, whatever the case is. I don't know. There's so many things.
But guess what we did? We got it. So we're on there now.
Yeah, we're on everything. So I mean, there's so many things now. Check us out
there because we're on it.
Shoot, I don't know. Shoot, Tubi might be on there now. I don't know what. I don't even know. There's so many things nowadays. You don't even know what Tubi is, do you?
No.
But
we're on all the things for this, and that's all that matters. It sounds like he's going on a tangent. It's unnecessarily. Do you want to continue where you're going with that?
I was going to, but I think I should stop now.
Right. So what were you going to say?
Yeah. So on today's agenda, we're going to be talking about a few things. First, we're going to be talking about breakups. And
people ask us about our relationship history, and we figured it's time. to share our breakup story.
I think it's time. I guess it's time since you just gonna go into it.
I mean, I've definitely shared it before, but I feel like since the last time we shared it, obviously on like other social media, we have gained more followers, and people just
they just don't know us.
Don't know.
They just
We also, I don't feel like, went into like explicit detail of like our breakup, which I'm down to. I don't care.
Okay.
I think a lot of people break up. It's really not that big of a deal. Relax. If you break up, it's not the end of the world. It's
not people break up, but yeah, we broke up.
We broke up. So
I was fed up of you, so I broke up.
My gosh. Ewy.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, that was weird. It was 2018. We had been dating for honestly like just about a year. This was like the first year of our relationship. I feel like it's different if you break up like year 5. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But like this one, we had just met, to be honest. Like we really were fresh.
I had no idea who you were. Really.
He did.
I did.
We were a year in, but you get the point. Oopsies. Yeah. Oh, I got the girls town since the last time I saw you. We have 2 new girls in town.
For the viewers who don't know or who can't see this on video or YouTube.
Double D's in the house.
And not talking about myself. We're talking about you. We're talking about you having double D's, melons, watermelons, trucks in front of your chest. Yeah, they're very present. They took attendance too when they were in school. They say, "Oh, me too."
Anyway, okay. So, you thought that was so funny. Okay. We were dating. It was about a year. And Juwan was in the middle of season and he was sucking. Right?
We're getting that deep. We're going that deep.
He blamed me for his failure. And that's honestly why we broke up, bro.
Okay.
Loser.
Go ahead.
That is the biggest ick that I get of football players in general, I will say. You know those guys that like come home like after a bad game when they like lost the game and they're like, I'm in a bad mood. I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be angry with my family. And, like, I'm just going to pout all day. Like, bro.
Keep continuing. Go ahead.
That was him in 2018. I'm so glad we broke up because this man flipped a switch. But let's just say 2018, you were doing really bad in football. He was projected to be first-round draft pick, right? Mm-hmm. 2017. And he's like, no, I want to stay another year and get my degree or whatever.
No. You're messing it up. 2018, I was projected to be a first-round pick. 2017, I had a good year. 2018, I was projected to have a good year, and I was going to leave 2018.
And then he sucked.
2018.
But I was saying, if you would have just left in 2017 when you were projected first round.
I wasn't projected first round 2017.
Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Whatever year it was the year before this. And then you decided to stay, get your degree, and then you sucked. You ruined it for yourself, to be honest. Here we are, undrafted, all because he decided to suck that year and break up with me. So what happened is he was doing really bad, and he was in one of those moods that football players like to get in. And basically, he just didn't want to do anything with me, right? You pretty much just didn't want to be around me. He just wanted to pout all the time. Yeah. I remember one time, like, bro, I went down, like, to the family section to, like, hang out with you. And you're like, I just want to go home. And I was like, well, I'm down here in the family section. And you're like, I already ordered pizza at home. And I'm like, bro, you're already home? He used to not be a nice man. Like, he was not as nice as he is now. But that's the best part of it all.
That was me walking in the flesh.
This was before the Lord.
This was me walking in the flesh.
So we went on a night out. And we honestly just got in a fight and broke up. Like, really, that's what happened. We just got in a fight and we broke up. Like, it was really not... Yeah. There was no tea to it except for that. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, it was one of those breakups where it wasn't like, like, I don't know. Like, we really did just break up. Yeah. We really did just break up.
And I guess just to add more detail to the first half of your story is that, yes, in 2017, I had a good year. Yes, I could have left because it was my retro sophomore year. I did not leave because I felt like I wasn't going to get drafted as high as I could have if I stayed another year. Hence why I was probably projected to go first round the next year. So I had a pretty bad year, yes. And that could have reflected, more in our, courtship, our relationship. And yeah, I wasn't, very nice. I was
he was not that
very
mean. I'm being very dramatic right now. I just mean like you were just very
I was very full of myself.
Oh, that's a great word.
I would say that.
Thank you for saying
I was
that.
I was very full of myself, and I thought that I thought the world revolved around me,
him.
and not like in a way where I always thought that way. I just thought like whenever I
Football mattered more than anything.
Football mattered more than anything. And football is my life, and I think back then I was very much so a perfectionist. Everything had to be a certain way. I would work all the time, and I didn't leave a lot of things to God. And so yeah, when you have all works and you don't do things the right way, and that's the kind of result you get. So yes, you can finish what you were doing.
That night. Got in a fight, broke up.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I wasn't expecting it to be like an actual breakup because like who just breaks up the first time? But we really did. We were like, LOL, bye.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. And I was so actually like shocked. So what had happened was I had graduated 6 months.
She had graduated 6 years.
Much so a cougar. Yeah. I'm 6 months older than him, so I had graduated the school year before him because he did extra years of football, whatever. So, or he came, or you get the point.
We get the point.
So I had graduated already, and I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna stay and wait for you because you're literally gonna graduate and you're gonna go do the whole NFL thing after. So I'm just gonna like stick around and wait, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do after.
Yeah.
After this year of football.
After this year, because I planned on leaving.
I was working. I was selling DirecTV at Sam's Club, and I was just...
She was one of those ladies that were like at Sam's Club.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question really quick? Do you have a cable provider?
Yeah.
Ooh, you should get rid of that. You should get streaming service. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it wasn't streaming. It was.
She was one of those people at Sam's Club that was getting on your nerves.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to get this AT&T or Verizon? And they're just
sold
like
AT&T at Walmart, and I sold it at Sam's Club, and I sold DirecTV.
And those people, I'm just like, I'm good, and keep walking. Like,
I know,
you clearly see me at Sam's Club, not for this. So why are you bothering me? Like, I'm trying to get a deal.
Half the time, like, it was in State College, Pennsylvania, in the middle of nowhere. Like, half the time I stop people, they're like, you literally sold me DirecTV last week. Like, please leave me alone.
Like, I'm trying to get a bundle. I'm trying to get a bundle on like toilet paper. You trying to sell me AT&T? Like, nobody's here for no AT&T at Sam's Club. So go ahead.
I was doing that, and I was waiting for him, and honestly, I hated it. And
you did well.
I did good. It was fine. So then when we broke up, I was like, I'm out of here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I also was just sick of seeing his face everywhere because, like, when you're in a small town that's all about, like, sports and stuff, your face was plastered on all the windows because you're a senior. So, like, the senior football team was always, like, all over the windows. And I was like, I'm not in the mood to stare at you. And then he was, like, a little weirdo. And anytime we were in the same place, he'd, like, run out the room and, like, ugh, like, I don't want to see Shannon there. So I'm like, get me out of this town, right? So I did. I left. One day in the middle of the night, I left. And I didn't tell him.
In the middle of the night.
He was, like, offended I didn't tell him. And I'm like, dude, we don't talk, bro.
I was offended?
Yes, bro. You called me crying.
She's going. Here's the thing. I very much so may have cried, but I don't, like, that time was, like, such a blur for me.
He was not himself.
I was definitely, that's why it's like, I don't know what it was, but God may have blocked that memory from me, but I don't remember too much from that time.
It's totally fine because it was 2 months of a breakup. We were literally broken up for 2 months, but because I'm very spontaneous in life and I make a lot of fast-paced decisions, I decided to move back to California. And just a few short weeks later, we decided to get back together. Unfortunately, we ended up having to do a whole year of long distance relationship after that.
Fair. And that's when she's talking about, we broke up for a very small stint. And then I entered the transfer portal. I am the original portal trailblazer. This is without the NIL. This is without the money involved and all this stuff. This is literally, I did it the right way. Like, I graduated, got my degree, and then left. He
transferred before transferring was, like, a thing, and people were like, oh, gosh, he transferred.
Like transferring was actually a big thing when I was, like, it was like, yo, he's leaving.
That's huge. Like, it was bad. Huge. There was, like, a whole thing with Penn State, which we don't have to get into. And then there was, like...
But now it's like, going to a different school now is like, I'm just going to the school across the street really quick, just to go to another one that's down the street. Like, but it's not like that anyway. But yeah, I actually left and, I went to, Oregon.
So, all that to say, we definitely broke up. He was very, like, football focused. And I think a lot of you changed. A lot of both of us changed when we were broken up. I feel like I gained a lot of confidence and, like, realized, like, what I wanted to do with my life.
Because she was getting so much attention from other men.
No, I was doing a job that I liked.
She was just getting so much attention, so she was just like,
I was a
feeling herself a little bit more.
I felt myself.
Yeah, I know.
I did. And you can tell me what happened to you.
Yeah, so during our breakup, I read a book that changed my life.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's something that it just changed instantaneously, but it definitely changed my viewpoint and my intentionality of how I lived. And so the book was Kingdom Man by Tony Evans.
Love.
And so I think the biggest thing that I learned from it was just like, who's going to change? Like, this is your life. You only get basically one shot at this. And it's basically just telling like a boy like to grow up into a man. It's just like you are being very childish. Like from the whole book, and I'm just paraphrasing from like my view, is that you're a kid, you need to grow up. This is your life. How do you want to look back at it? How would you want God to look at you? And I was like, man, like all these things are hitting me. And it wasn't like anything like groundbreaking. I feel like I just looked at the Bible in a different way. I feel like I was just skimming through the Bible.
Yeah.
Like every time I read the Bible in college, like I feel like I was just skimming through it. Nothing hit me. Nothing was applicable. I'm just like, all right, I read it.
He was a verse of the day type of guy.
Very much so verse of the day type of guy.
And that was it for the day.
That was it. Spiritually starved, and just very just like whatever. But when I read that book, things changed a lot for me.
Things changed a lot, and it was noticeably changed a lot. Like, yeah. I mean, when we got back together and like we first started talking again, like when we started rekindling, I literally thought that you were like faking it, and I thought you were faking it just to get me back. And so I was very skeptical about the whole situation because I thought that you were just putting on a front. It's the same thing 5 years later, so yeah. I hope it's not a front still.
Just fronting the whole time.
Fronting the whole time, but
that wouldn't that be so scary? Like
once we started, like the first time we saw each other in person, like maybe a month later, and then like we're together like all the time more often. Like I was like, whoa, this dude like actually changed. Like this dude loves Jesus, and this dude is a whole different person. And like it's so crazy because the people from Penn State, literally do not understand this dude because he was just so different. Like this man had a potty mouth.
To be fair, I had a potty mouth. Like I was doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing. I wouldn't say I was hanging around the people I wasn't supposed to be hanging with, but I would say the people I was hanging with didn't stop my behavior on what I was doing. I had best friends. I still do have 3 best friends that I still talk to this day. And yes, like they weren't in the same position as me. They were trying to help me out, but also had other friends who were, just getting involved in the same things, like just being going out partying, treating women wrong, just like the whole nine. I don't think that was like the best thing for me. So like me leaving Penn State wasn't just because of football. Yes, the main reason was football, but the other reason was because of just my life. And so when I went to Oregon, yes, I was drastically changed by God and the book, Kingdom Man. But I think my spiritual leader, Josh Bidwell, who is the pastor, the chaplain at Oregon, he changed my life dramatically. And I think when you're changing, you need somebody to help you change. Yeah, you need somebody to help you change. You just don't change.
Like that was the first time you had a mentor. I feel like I remained like steadfast in the way that I was in college because I had Cheryl, who was like the Penn State Christian Athletics like
chaplain.
Her husband was, and so she was like, and so like I would always have her as my mentor, and that was your first time having a mentor.
First time having a mentor, and somebody who can spiritually lead me, who is a kingdom man, who was able to lead, who was available to lead, and
it was great. And literally the way that Joanne was just like a whole different person and like has forever just been a whole different person is like the wildest thing. So I'm really not against, like for me, that breakup was the best thing that ever happened because I gained confidence. I worked on myself. You literally transformed. People from Penn State literally don't recognize you. Like, I remember when we first got married, they're like, wait, what? Like, you are...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like, like hanging out with you, you were just like a full 180.
Yeah.
But
and I don't even hang out. I mean, the thing is, I love the time with, you know, my friends at Penn State, but I don't even have the same friends. Like when we talk, it's not even the same conversation. Like, it's not even things that I even
I will
get
say,
into
I feel like
anymore.
there's a lot of people that are still in the same wave from college.
Yeah, it's still in the same way, but
and
I'm just not.
Like,
that's not the stage of life I'm on.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, do you think? I guess what I'm saying is that why did you get back with me? When we broke up.
Hold on. Are we okay on time? What time? How long has it been?
You guys are good. You guys haven't even hit 20 minutes yet.
Okay, cool. We can go like 10, 15 more.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Say that
So
again.
why did you like get back with me, knowing if I did or didn't change? Like, why'd you give me another chance? Really?
I gave you another chance because you texted me and asked me for my address, and you sent me a SpongeBob blanket.
She was really into SpongeBob, and that was just like a small gift to be like,
it was a small,
just...
sweet gesture and very, very mindful and thoughtful.
Yeah.
But he hyped this thing up, right? He said, I have something to give you. I just have to give you something. You know how like guys are when they like want to like get you to like talk to them. He was like, oh, I just like, I need your address. I need to send this to you. Like, I just need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. I didn't have his phone number because I obviously like deleted it. And you were upset about that. But anyway.
I don't know how you remember that. I don't remember none of that, but go ahead.
Of course. And next thing I know, I'm expecting like, I don't know, an engagement ring appearing at my front door.
Right.
And it's a SpongeBob baby blanket.
I didn't know it was a baby blanket. I got it off Amazon, so like I'm a big Amazon guy, and maybe we'll get into that another episode. Just how much I love Amazon. We also got some jewelry off Amazon.
Hit my wedding ring. He loves his Amazon.
Chill out, man.
1 year later, almost on the dot. Amazon wedding ring.
Literally. Wow.
LOL.
Literally. But yeah. So yeah.
1 year later on the dot, we were broken up and then got back together, which leads me into the next question. How did you know that I was the one?
I always knew you're the one. Even though I didn't act like you were.
Because football was the one.
Okay. Anyway. But no, I always knew you were the one because there was a calming peace that I had around you. And there was like, cause here's the thing, like, I always knew God, always knew God. Yeah, I always knew God. But I feel like there's an overwhelming like peace and joy you get when you just know something's right. And I know that's how God may talk to people, and that's how God definitely talks to me. Like, there's a certain peace and joy that you get from that, and that's what I had with you. And so I know before with, you know, under other women, and they were great people, but I feel like for me, when I was with you, I was like, bro, like, this is something I've never experienced before. And
Love.
So I just know it was just like different. Like, it was very different when I was around you. I was like, man, like, I just feel like it just felt like home, and I never felt that before. And like, yeah, it just was very, very different. And so even when I didn't treat you as if you were the one, you definitely were the one. And so even when we broke up, like, there was like, I wouldn't say an emptiness, but it was like similar to an emptiness. I don't know how to necessarily put that into words, but there was like an emptiness. And it wasn't like a craving for attention. It wasn't like a craving for that, but I just knew like God was telling me like, this is it. Like, this is the person for you. And so, and I don't know. I just think that was it. Like, I don't think there was anything to put to it.
Like, breakups though, is because obviously breakups suck in general, but like when you break up with the person that you're meant to be with, it's really sucky. Like, I mean, I was down bad. Like, I was pretty sad, I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, fair. Yeah. You're my husband, right? So like, I was really agitated by people being like, Shannon, it's just another breakup, like, you're fine, like all the things. And I'm like, looking back, no, it was not. Like, that was a breakup with my husband.
Mm.
You know? Like, obviously it hurt bad.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't think that it's valid for people to, like, shame people for having a rough time when they have a breakup, because it might be your one. Right. But also, I feel like there's so many people who loved our story and, like, saw, like, our transformation as a couple and, like, us get back together and, like, literally just know each other the one and get married and all the things. And they're like, oh, I want that. Like, how did that happen? And, like, they find out he read the book, because they're like, whoa, Jovan's a whole different man. What did he do? He read a book. Oh, let me go buy this guy a book.
Yeah, right.
The amount of girls who, which, go buy the book, truly. But I'm not telling you.
Go buy the book.
Go
Kingdom
buy
Man
the
is
book.
like, that book changed everything, but go ahead.
Go buy the book. But we always tell people, like, we are, like, a 1 in a million situation where a couple, like, can transform that way and, like, get back together, get married, and all the things. Like, don't expect every man in the world to literally do that. I don't know how to explain it.
But I think you can only change if you want to change. I knew something had to change in my life, because I knew I was going to be heading down the wrong path. Like, I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing, indulging in things I shouldn't have been indulging in. So I know from my standpoint, it was more so like a want to change, and that still led me back to you. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't like, oh, I gotta get myself together so I can be better for Shannon. Like, my intention wasn't to be like, I gotta get back so I can get with you. It was like, I gotta get better because I know there's better for my life and God wants better for me. And that led me to you.
Yeah. Because we've seen this happen. Like, we've given this exact advice from our situation and seen people get back together, be transformed, and get married. And we've also seen people not work out. Right. But I will say, it's worked. Yeah. Go Tony Evans. Period.
Yeah. I think, breakups is like, I guess the advice to breakups is like, breakups happen if both parties want to get better, then you'll get better. But if you don't, then that happens, sort of thing. So, yeah, that's why, Do you think, this is my question. Do you think that someone, well, how do you know I was the one? I guess is my first question. How did you know that I was the one?
I was not that girl that, like, went home and said, oh, I met my husband today. Mm-hmm. But I've never been that girl, really. But I definitely felt it. Like I remember everything. Like, I remember the day I met you. I remember, like, our first text. Like, I, like, just had so much detail about remembering us that I was, like, I loved it. And also, like, I just saw, like, the parts of you that you wanted to be more than you did, I think.
That's good. I like that. That was good. That was good.
And, like, I was always advocating for that version of you.
Wow.
And I got it.
Wow. That's a word.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that there's more than one person that could be the one? Like, do you feel like what I'm trying to say is that, like, you know how people say, oh, like, yeah, they're the one. Like, they're the one person. Yeah. Do you think God gives, like, you, like, just one, human like, one person?
But, like, God perspective. The answer to me is there is one.
There is one.
There's one.
Like, God makes you
I know that there's a lot of people in the world that have that whole thing where it's like, oh, there's potentially 5 the ones. Mm-hmm. And, like, based on your free will, you're going to meet one of them and end up marrying them. And it's just cool, period. I have one of my people that was potentially going to be my one. I don't think that. I think no matter what, at the end of the day, we somehow would have ended up together. Because, like, I was supposed to go to University of Georgia. I didn't. I ended up at Penn State. What if I went to Georgia? My theory is that I would have met you still somehow. Somehow I would have still met you.
That's good. Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Because here's, oh my gosh, biblical perspective.
Okay, let me hear it.
You and I are supposed to be a representation of, like, the relationship between Jesus and the church.
Right.
So we're supposed to have, like, a deep love for each other.
Right.
Jesus left the 99 for the one. So.
Right. I'm about to say, I wonder where you going here. Yeah, we talking about sheep. Yeah, the flock.
So no matter what, we're gonna seek each other out. Like, we will be sought out by the other. That's my theory. I don't think that there's, like, multiples.
Okay.
And I don't think that means that I'm ever gonna get married if he died, or vice versa.
Well, let's talk about that in a second.
Well, we're short on time, so give me your opinion, and then and then we'll peace
out
and share that next time.
Okay. All right. I think that there could possibly be more of the ones just because of free will. And I think that God will make things work together. But I think that, I don't know, it's iffy. But I do think that there is just one. I know I can see both sides of the coin. But I do think
I see both sides of the coin.
Both sides of the coin just because of free will. That's the only reason. Because of free will.
But just because there's free will doesn't mean that God doesn't know what's going to happen already.
Yeah.
Just because I know something's going to happen doesn't mean that the person that did it didn't have free will to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think God makes
things work. That's like me knowing Henny's going to go outside and poop in the wrong place. Like I know he's going to
Henny's our dog, by the way.
To poop anywhere he wanted to.
Yeah. I don't know. I knew you were the one. And I think that is something that God put on me to be like, she is the one.
Yeah.
And that's why the rest weren't. Not saying that, like I said, the rest weren't bad people. I'm just saying the rest weren't, and you were, because there was a certain he had so much like favor and dominion on our relationship and on our meeting, and how the way we met and how we knew of each other before but never spoke to each other. So I knew Shan.
Which advocates for there's only one.
Yeah. But look, it's my opinion, all right? It's my opinion.
Just helping you think.
Well, let's just put it this way. Like, to your question, do you think that you would? Well, I'm already knowing your answer, but do you think you would remarry?
Joanne, we got to be done. We can't get that far into this right now.
You don't think so?
No.
How much time we got?
We are 35 minutes right now.
Are we really?
30. We're
30.
Good. We can't go back to this.
Okay.
Quick. Answer it quick.
No, I mean, because it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one. So I feel like we rather shouldn't.
It's a pretty easy answer, Juwan.
All right.
When I die, are you going to marry someone or not?
Well, then I guess we'll just go to the next episode leading into that. Are you going to marry somebody or not,
Juwan, when I die?
No, I would not. Because I feel like I would be giving that person nothing. Like, for one, I'm not going to be like I'm going to be so exhausted. But I don't even have the energy. Like I would. Don't be like that. I'm just saying, like I've given everything to this marriage. And for me to hop into another marriage, like, that person would get nothing from me. And it would be a disservice to them. It would definitely be a disservice to me, because I'm gonna be doing, like, just be with that person and be like, man, like, I wish I was doing this with Shannon. Like, I'm going to be that person. And they would be like, dang, well, she's dead. And I'd be like, well, I just miss her. So I feel like I would never, personally, I feel like I couldn't remarry, just because I wouldn't be giving that person, like, anything of what I'm giving in this marriage.
Period. My quick answer would be I would not remarry either. Mainly because I'm not trying to have no drama in heaven. And I'm just trying.
She's worried about heaven. She's worried about, if both my husbands were in heaven,
what if I had two husbands in heaven? That would be so much drama that I'm not trying to do forever.
I tell you what, in heaven, there ain't gonna be no drama.
I'm not gonna risk it.
She would be married. I tell you what, if God told her, look, there's not gonna be any drama, she would remarry. Basically.
And the way that I'd be so mad if I've been waiting for this man for years and years, he decides to come join the party, and he's bringing a lady with him. Bro. Why? I love your like your heavenly mindset and what it'll be like in heaven, but you're gonna be so off of, like, drama. For real. But also, I just could never marry someone else, to be honest. From my earthly perspective, would not want to do that. Ew, that's so gross. Imagine having to be married to someone else.
Yeah, I'd be like,
ew, I cannot imagine being married to someone else. That gives me the ick.
I'd just be tired, to be honest with you. To learn somebody new.
To sleep next to somebody. Gross. Anyway, that's my answer.
Okay, well, I think we'll dive deeper into that later. Thanks for listening to our podcast. What's the podcast name?
Love in Locker Rooms.
With you and Shan. So fun being with y'all. Thank y'all. Peace out.
Peace, love, gymnastics.
Peace, love, gymnastics.